been some changes to the team and back and forth action, but at the end of the day, let's talk about you, the dad. How proud are you of your son and what he's accomplished so far?
I'm really proud of what he has done throughout his journey. I know he had some issues a year and a half ago, but he weathered the storm, and now he's 100%. And I'm glad that he went through this because he's happy now. He's calm. He's happy.
You see
He's
that
back.
in him?
Yeah, and that's what I love about what I'm seeing. It's a transformation of what happened. It wasn't a good scene to see.
Yeah.
Back then.
Because at the end of the day, you weren't his trainer, you were his dad. And
Yeah.
you're the man who introduced him to the sport. And you all those years you've told me about driving all over the country in the van to these tournaments, and you saw something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, remember, you're always a dad first, then the trainer. And I had to just switch my hat and say, hey, man, let's put everything aside. Let's take care of you. And we did that, and I'm so happy now, and I'm proud of him that he's going to start where he left off.
Yep, he's going to be the main event, taking on Emmanuel Tagoe from Accra, Ghana. You guys decided to go with Joe Goosen, a man you've known back from your amateur days. What was that like? How did you find you can get reconnect with Joe?
Well, we've always liked Joe. 10 Goose is a very good gym out in Van Nuys. We were happy. Unfortunately, it didn't work out in the beginning at that time. But, just like anything else, doors are always open for us. And we had a great time that we had to get back together. And now, you see that he's Ryan's main trainer.
Yeah, now, you guys are down here in San Diego. You started off in Victorville, in the garage, and you've all seen the pictures and the reflex bag back and forth and all of that.
Yeah.
Why San Diego?
Well, it's calm. It's very calm. It's sunny. The atmosphere is great. But I think more importantly, that's what Ryan needed. He needed something that just to calm himself down. Because, being in Victorville, it was totally empty. Sometimes, I mean, it's nice,
Yeah.
but LA's too crowded, I think.
Yeah.
But San Diego is very peaceful.
All right. So, yeah, you can be the big fish in small pond in Victorville where everybody's stopping. LA can be LA. Right. So you just need that calmness down there.
Exactly.
And you're feeling that.
I'm feeling that, right.
Ryan Garcia in the ring right now, shaking out for the media. You see Fino Boxing right there, KO artist, Bernardo Osuna hanging in, Gail Falkenborg, everybody coming down here to check out Ryan Garcia. It's a media workout for him. They see his brother just cut off. Yeah, the little Sean just got cut off. All right, there you go. Go back to Sean. There you go. So it goes back and forth. But Henry, and I'm just playing amateur psychologist right now, but just interviewing Ryan right now compared to how I interviewed him a year ago. A year ago, he had that edge on him. Today, he seems that calmness factor. How much of that has to do with just how the camp is going?
Well, that's what I mean. When you're happy, you're comfortable. You have good results. I mean, look at him. I mean, he's very confident, and that's what you need going into a fight.
Yeah. So, what do you guys do for sparring down there? You bring in your own, or what do you guys do?
We've hired a few good sparring partners, and they've all been helpful.
Okay.
There you go. Right.
Yeah, you're on that level where you gotta pay for the sparring. You gotta bring the guys in, right?
Yeah.
And the most important thing is you gotta make sure you get the good work.
Well, that's the key, and of course, they have to be relatively the same size as who you're fighting with, and we got that, plenty of that, so it turned out really good for us.
Yeah, 5'11", 135. This fight's going to be at 139, which was always the agreed to weight. There's no need to go 135 if you're not going to fight for a world title.
Right.
So it was funny. Like they came out like, oh, what happened now? I was like, no, that was agreed to. Like I hosted the press conference. I was like, I didn't even bring it up because I was like, it's not that big of a deal. But all of a sudden, it became a big deal last week. You see Ryan Garcia back in the ring, shaking out here. Bound Boxing in Chula Vista, California. Local media and international media coming and checking out for Ryan's return to the ring. You'll see that April 9th exclusively on DAZN at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Beth Duran, joined now by Ryan's first trainer, Henry Garcia. Now, how did you get Ryan into boxing? What's the story?
Well, it was my brother. It was my brother that was into boxing. I followed his shoes in Chicago, and then we saw something in Ryan and my other son, and my brother gave him the foundation. He goes, hey, because I was working, and I told my brother, well, if he likes that, and instead of baseball, well, let's get him into boxing. I said, but I want you to train him. I'll pay you. So my brother trained him for a good year and a half, and then after that, my brother, stepped back, and I took over. And I said, okay, well, I have to go full time, so I would quit some of my jobs.
Oh man.
So I would take him training, and I took him all over, all over.
Yeah, it's not like Victorville's where you can find 15 different gyms like you can in LA County. So you were going all over all the freeways, huh?
Oh my God, Santa Ana. I was going to Angel. I was going everywhere. I mean, Coachella.
Because he had outgrown the area.
He outgrown the area, and the boxing, was in LA. Was out in again Coachella, Indio.
Yeah.
There were some good sparring partners there.
Yeah, you would find Joel Diaz.
Chino.
Yeah, you would find Antonio Diaz. You would find Caballero, all the good stuff. So,
And those guys that are pros now were growing up, so it's like we knew each other.
yeah, Chango and everybody else. Yeah. So
was fun.
when did you realize that, this kid has it? Like around what age did you think, like, okay, he's got it?
That's a very good question. I knew it when he was like.
Because right now we see everybody's 8-year-old is amazing, right? Everybody's 8-year-old is going to be the next one in the world.
Yeah, but
how many parents tell you that?
But let me tell you this: you could say that, but you're gonna know when they're 15, 16. You're gonna know because if they enter a tournament, they can fight a 17-year-old. Okay, so when you fight a 17-year-old and you're 15, 16, and you're beating them, that's when you know.
That's when they're starting to get their man muscle a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, just you know that, and then I would see that in Ryan when he would fight these guys, and I would say, hey, you know what, you're winning. I said, so maybe, just maybe, when you turn 18, we could turn you pro.
That was the deal, huh?
That was the deal.
And he wanted it.
He wanted it
at that age.
Well, he had made the USA team.
Yeah.
But something happened in Russia where they just boycotted it, and then he decided, you know what, Dad, let's just turn pro. And at that time, Devin Haney was already a pro. So we were like, hey, man, he's already in there. Why can't we be in there?
That's the voice of Henry Garcia, Ryan's father, and to give us a little background to the story how Ryan Garcia got going. So you turned pro not too far from where we're at right now in Chula Vista, right over the border in Tijuana. What was that fight like?
Well,
Is there any footage of it?
Yeah.
On your phone, right? Like
No.
Your iPhone 3, maybe?
There's footage on YouTube, but let me tell you this. Fighting in TJ, you better be careful. You better be careful. Because when they say box wreck, they mean box wreckage. Okay? Because those numbers are inaccurate.
So the first fight?
Well, the first fight was easy, It was fine, Hey, they're going to give you that, most of the time.
All right.
Second fight, you're going to see a little twist there. Third, even more.
Okay.
The fourth one is when we were like shook our heads. We were like, why do these guys have better uniforms than us?
And you had good uniforms, Henry.
We had good uniforms.
Yeah.
Okay, but then that was questionable. And then on top of that, we were thinking, well, wait a minute. Why are we the main event? Why did they change the referee on us?
That was your fourth fight?
Yeah, and we're thinking, what is going on here? So I'm telling you, it's boxing wreckage.
Yeah. Ryan Garcia over at what's the name of that bag? It's the bag you guys created, right? What's it called?
Fierce Reflex.
The Fierce Reflex bag. That's where you're going to be at. We'll get our cameras over there.
Yeah.
There you go. So he's put the gloves on, so you'll be able to see some of that, some good footage. He wasn't going to, but he did it. So that's one of the things, too. Like, once you start getting the feeling, all of a sudden you're like, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's Ryan, where I'm telling you, once he starts something, he just enjoys it. And just like, Canelo enjoys it, I mean, this is something that helps his accuracy and his precision. And that's what we do when we fight. I mean, he could see it a lot clearer.
Yep. April 9th in San Antonio, the main event, Ryan Garcia taking on Emmanuel Tagoe, exclusively live on DAZN. It'll be 10 fights scheduled for you from the Alamo Dome, and you're going to be able to get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. It's fiesta time during San Antonio, so it's going to be a fun week. It's going to be a lot of exclusive scenes behind the scenes that we're going to have for you here on the Golden Boy YouTube page and all kinds of stuff. So make sure you follow the Golden Boy social media accounts, the Twitter, the Instagram, just to see what's going on all week long. Beto Duran joined alongside Henry Garcia, Ryan's father, and his first trainer. So what's your role now, Henry?
Well, I'm still assistant trainer.
Yeah?
I mean, yeah, I'm humble.
Don't mess up the water training.
No. It's just, look, I don't have an ego. I don't have an ego, okay? If I know that you're going to help my son and you're going to assist in helping my son, you know what?
Yeah.
By all means, that's fine. But you better have more experience than I have.
And
okay?
a lot of people won't do that.
Well, you know that, Beto. They won't do it. What father steps to the side and lets somebody else take over?
Well,
I did it twice with Eddie Reynoso and now with Joe. Okay? But you know what? I'm learning too. And I'm seeing everything. I see what I've done, and I've seen what they're doing. So it's okay, because guess what? I'm still there anyways. And if they get sick, who's there? You don't think I train my son after this sometimes? I do the same thing.
Who he still listens to you?
Absolutely. I mean, he has respect for me, of course. I mean, if I didn't know what I was doing, if I didn't do all those tournaments with him, all those fights, I mean, come on, Beto.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. He knows me. I can say just certain things to him that's going to spark him.
Yeah, because we've seen over the years, too, a lot of father/trainers and their sons, they're there fighting. All of a sudden, they don't have a relationship anymore, which is sad to see.
Well, that's probably one of the reasons why I stepped to the side, because I didn't want to lose that. I want to be his dad, but I also want to help him, with his journey.
And that journey is going to be April 9th in San Antonio, taking on Emmanuel Tagoe. Oscar De La Hoya was here a couple minutes ago saying the plan this year is to make him a world champion. When you hear that from Oscar, the promoter, what do you think?
Hey, I tell you, 100%, I would love to see that. I mean, I think it's long overdue, and I wish it could happen this year.